breaking news now coming in that it has been a split verdict by the Supreme Court in the hijab case. That's the big breaking story coming in. A split verdict in the hijab controversy case. That's the big story breaking on Mirror now at the moment. It's a split verdict by the Supreme Court in the hijab case. Remember, it's a two-judge bench that is pronouncing this verdict. A bench of Justices Hemant Gupta and Sudhanshu Dhulia delivering this judgment in the hijab case right now. We are getting to know now that this is a split verdict. It's a split verdict. Justice Hemant Gupta and Sudhanshu Dhulia delivering judgments right now. So hijab row remains inconclusive at the moment. That's the big breaking story coming in. The controversy remains inconclusive because it's a split verdict. Justice Hemant Gupta saying that there is divergence of opinion in this matter in the hijab controversy case. So big breaking story coming in as far as the hijab case is concerned. The Supreme Court has delivered a split verdict there. Justice Hemant Gupta saying there is divergence of opinion in the matter and this hijab row remains inconclusive. So that's the big breaking story coming in and breaking on Mirror now. This is the big story. Hijab row remains inconclusive. That's the big story breaking on Mirror now. Justice Hemant Gupta and Justice Sudhanshu Dhulia are giving this verdict. It's a split verdict. Justice Hemant Gupta saying there is divergence of opinion in the matter, going on to say that my answer to all this is against the appellant's appeal is dismissed. High Court judgment is confirmed. That is what Justice Gupta has said. Justice Dhulia has said that I have a different view. I have allowed all the appeals. So that's the split verdict that's coming in. Justice Gupta saying that the judgment is confirmed, but Justice Dhulia is saying I have a different view. I have allowed all the appeals. So a split verdict there by the Supreme Court in the hijab case at the moment, the judgment being given by Justices Hemant Gupta and Sudhanshu Dhulia. All right, let's take this and understand what this means from our guest. Advocate Chirag Malik is joining us. Also, Dr. Sudha Acharya, chairperson of the National Progressive School Conference, also joining us. Advocate Chirag Malik, to you first. It's a split verdict now from the Supreme Court. What happens next?
This will definitely go to, hi Rohit, good morning. This will definitely go to a larger bench of the Supreme Court. Justice Dhulia is still currently reading out his order. He's still not completed his reasoning for why he set it aside. Justice Gupta has framed 11 questions. Justice Dhulia says that this is a matter of choice, nothing more, nothing less. And very importantly, what Justice Dhulia says is that the point of essential religious practices was not required to be decided by the Karnataka High Court while dealing with this issue. So this is where we are right now, Rohit. Let's see when the Supreme Court obviously finishes giving its order, and once we have a review of the complete detailed order, we will be better placed to make an assessment.
Yes, Dr. Sudha Acharya, let me bring you in this conversation. Where do you stand on this issue? Because there was an argument made whether or not this is a reasonable restriction, you know, the imposition of school uniform. Where do you come in on this debate? Ma'am, if you could unmute and speak.
For me, school is a place where learning takes place, and it's the most safest place for children or in the university. So if we focus more on what they should wear, what they should eat, or how they should behave, what kind of conversation they should do, in my opinion, we should not focus on these things. And India is such a diverse country, and we are a secular country. We respect all cultures or practices. So in school, of course, we have uniform and we don't allow any aberrations. But till now, children are coming in there and following their religious practices. We'll keep on waiting for the court order, of course. But in my view, quality education cannot be delivered. It will be greatly affected if academia will discuss about the dresses and other aspects besides curriculum, pedagogy, and delivering quality education. The focus should not be on what they should wear.
Schools, yes, the schools have these rules of uniform. I mean, I just want to understand whether the rules, according to you, should permit wearing of hijabs or not. But I'll come back to you in a bit. Let me read out more from that judgment, that split verdict that is being delivered. Justice Dhulia saying ultimately it's a matter of choice. So important statements coming there. Justice Sudhanshu Dhulia allowing all the appeals and sets aside the judgment of the Karnataka High Court. Justice Dhulia saying, I went by fate of girl children. In view of the divergence in view, matter to be placed before the Chief Justice to be referred to a larger bench. So that's what Justice Gupta is saying. Let's go across to Nilashish, who is joining us from the ground. Nilashish is reporting live.
The Chief Justice to be referred to a larger bench is what Justice Hemant Gupta is saying. So as we are pointing out, the breaking news, it will be referred to a larger bench, given the fact that there is a split verdict at this point by the Supreme Court with regard to the hijab issue. The CJI will have to constitute a bench. The matter will be referred to the CJI to constitute a three-judge bench, given the divergent views of Justice Hemant Gupta and Justice Dhulia at this point.
That's the breaking input, Rahul. This is what is coming up in the hijab hearing, that now the matter will be referred to the CJI, and the CJI will finally decide that whether the matter will go to the three-judges bench and when it will go. So after the split verdict which has come out in this long and lengthy debate, which has started from Karnataka, which reached to the apex court, where all these senior counsels had argued for the petitioner's side. There was a lengthy argument for 10 days, which happened, Rahul, and finally the split verdict had come up. And as Nilashish has already stated, yes.
All right, so that's the breaking story coming in. Now the matter will be referred to a larger bench. As Advocate Chirag Naik was pointing out, it could be referred to the larger bench. Now that's what the judges have said, that the matter will be placed before the CJI to be referred to larger bench. Advocate Naik, let's also talk about whether or not this is an essential practice under Article 25. That was the other big debate, apart from reasonable restrictions. Where do you weigh in on that debate?
I think it's a very important question to be decided, because India is a very religious country, and education per se, as ma'am rightly said, is a secular activity. When somebody goes to school, and especially a government funded school, these are kids. Children don't decide what they're going to wear. It is either the school which prescribes the uniform or their parents tell them to. So, one also has to figure out that these people will become adults at one point in time and make their own decisions vis-a-vis what religious choices they have and what religion they want to follow in the end. And that is their fundamental right to exercise when they become an adult. But while they are the guardians of their parents, it is essential for the government to make sure that they prescribe a uniform, and only those religious articles should be allowed which are extremely essential.
For this court, whereas Justice Dhulia has been pleased to allow those SLPs, and they have set aside the judgment of the Karnataka High Court.
So what happens then? This is what people have been curiously waiting about. They have heard the argument. They have been watching it on our TV screens. That what have been the pointers? What happens next?
You see, in fact, the Justice Dhulia, Justice Hemant Gupta has formulated 11 questions of law, and all those questions of law he has allowed in favor of the respondents. That is, he has banned the hijab and he has upheld the judgment. Whereas
So there's no relief for the...
No relief. In fact, there is so now the matter has been referred before the Honorable Chief Justice to constitute appropriate bench for de novo hearing of this matter.
we are also getting few more reactions on the other camera side. Please go to that.
All right, Meenakshi Bhanja also joining us on the phone line. Before I return to the guests, Meenakshi, take us to this highlights of that split verdict being delivered by the Supreme Court. What are the two judges saying in their verdict?
Well, yes, Rohit, you see, this matter remains inconclusive by virtue of a split decision because ordinarily division bench composition or two-judge bench composition of the Supreme Court decides the matter. But in this case, like we have been showcasing, both the justices have differed. They have sharply divergent points of view, as a result of which this is a split verdict where...
I appeared. One of the petitioner was Charanjit Kaur, in which she was a Sikh lady. She was saying that when I have this choice, then other girls and other ladies and other ladies from the various communities, they should have all this choice also to cover their heads while they are going to schools or wherever or which place they are going to. So, my name is Aftab Ali Khan.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. This ultimately has been referred to the CJI for constitution of the larger bench. आज का जजमेंट आज का जो जजमेंट था हिजाब का बहुत दिन से जिसके ऊपर इंतजार था वो आज जज ने कोर्ट ने प्रोनाउंस कर दिया है और इसके अंदर स्प्लिट जजमेंट आया है। इसमें ऑनरेबल जस्टिस हेमंत गुप्ता साहब ने उसको जो है अपील को जो है उन्होंने डिसमिस करा है और जीओ वगैरह जो थे कर्नाटका गवर्नमेंट के उसको अपहेल्ड करा है। लेकिन जस्टिस गुलिया ऑनरेबल जस्टिस गुलिया ने डिफरेंट व्यू लिया है इसके अंदर, इस मैटर के अंदर, और उन्होंने इस मैटर के अंदर उसको अपील्स को अलाउ करा है और उन्होंने तीन पॉइंट्स के ऊपर इसको मेन एम्फेसिस दिया है। उन्होंने एक तो बिजॉय मैनुअल का जो जजमेंट है सुप्रीम कोर्ट का उस पर रेफर करा है और उसके बाद उन्होंने ये जो चॉइस है जो अपना सिर के ऊपर किसी को हिजाब रखना है या किसी को कवर करना है, ये लेडी का अपना चॉइस है, तो इस पॉइंट के ऊपर भी उन्होंने एम्फेसिस दिया है। और तीसरा पॉइंट जो इम्पोर्टेंट उन्होंने बोला है कि जो बच्चों की तालीम और एजुकेशन का मामला है वो बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है और बच्चों की तालीम के लिए हमें ऐसा कोई काम या ऐसी कोई चीज जिसमें उनकी एजुकेशन के ऊपर रुकावट आए तो उस चीज का उन्होंने एम्फेसिस दिया है कि ऐसा कोई काम जो है उसके खिलाफ है, बच्चे की एजुकेशन के खिलाफ है। अब आगे कोर्ट ने इस मैटर को अब आगे के लिए रेफर कर दिया है, वो उसके अंदर अब लार्जर बेंच के लिए रेफर करने के लिए उन्होंने आगे भेज दिया है इसको, बिकॉज ये एक स्प्लिट जजमेंट है तो आगे ये डिफरेंट बेंच अब आगे इसको सुनेगी। सर एक बार अपना नाम भी बोल दीजिए। मेरा नाम आफ्ताब अली खान।
And Justice Hemant Gupta, meanwhile, dismissing the appeal, upholding the hijab ban. So that's the split verdict that's come out of the Supreme Court. Now the matter will be placed before the Chief Justice of India to be referred to a larger bench. Dr. Sudha Acharya, let me bring you in. Dr. Acharya, now I want to understand from you, there are reasons and arguments that are placed in the public discourse wherein people say that there are multiple girl children who are coming from conservative families, and because they are allowed to wear hijab is why they are being sent to schools. Now, if you insist on not wearing the hijab, these girl children will be deprived of their education. What is your opinion on that?
Yeah, I agree with that. Sometimes in our school also, some girl children are there whose family do not allow, because I am coming from a private school. So in senior classes, they wear skirt and top. So if they request that they should wear full trouser, I allow them because it is their choice. And if that allows them to come to the school and get educated, I should not pose any restriction on that. So in my view, it's a secular country and it's very diverse. Our school is a mini India and we respect everybody's culture. So if this thing is coming in the way of girl children getting educated, then we should think twice what we'll be doing, because it will be a landmark verdict. Many students are there whom like we are working with underprivileged children. It took 6 months for me or for my team to bring them out from home and to join the school, to motivate them, to inspire them, to provide them a safe space so that they come out from their home and come to the school. So that much work has been done. So school, we should be focusing on education and bringing out all girl children from home to the school. That should be the space. So I don't think dress code should pose a restriction or on the way of girl children getting educated.
Dress code should not pose a restriction on the education of girl children. Advocate Naik, one final word from you now. Because of this split verdict, there's no relief then to the petitioners, to the girl students. The earlier order stands, isn't it?
Rohit, yes, there will be a stay on the government order. Obviously, that will be the consequence. But one thing I really need to clarify here is that this is not a hijab ban case. The government order of the Karnataka government simply says we have the right to prescribe a uniform. It applies to students of all religions who are following each and every religion. There is no discrimination based on religion. And that is the intent of the government order. And I feel that is something as a country we should look up to and ensure that we have certain secular moves made in activities which do not concern religion as such. Number one.
But as Dr. Acharya says, Advocate Naik, should the dress code deprive students of from education? That's the debate.
Is it depriving people of education? Because the order as it reads today simply says that you cannot wear a headscarf in the classroom. You can wear it outside, you can wear it at your house, you can wear it to and from the school. But while you are sitting in school, sitting in a classroom, every child has to be equal. And especially because these thresholds can keep changing. And that is why the question of what is an essential religious practice is important. Because tomorrow, if the public feels that, along with a headscarf, I will wear something else, or I could, Hindu children, for example, Hindu girls who somehow, if there is a trend that they are becoming more conservative, they may start wearing a ghunga to school. So are we going to allow that? There will be no end to this. This hijab case is just a test case.
All right. So, well, that's an ongoing debate. Chirag Naik and Dr. Sudha Acharya, thanks very much for joining us, sharing your perspective on that story. It's a split verdict by the Supreme